morning. I am glad to be here, and I hope that our findings are of interest for you all. My theme you can read on the slide behind me. This is a structure I prepared, but looking at the time, I will skip the points, theoretical framework, current state of research, and methodology. The IASSW funded study, Social Work in German Media, which I conducted with a team of 10 master students in 2013 and 2014, had a focus set on two major issues. The representation of social work in the media and on the one hand, and the perception of this media portrayed through social work and service users with mental illness on the other. The issue of representation was examined by evaluation of 3 German newspapers and 2 TV formats during a period of 6 weeks. The issue of perception was examined by 5 expert interviews with social workers and 1 group discussion of social users with 12 people with mental illness. We gained an elaborate study report of more than 250 pages. One of the most interesting results of our study refers to the aspect that social workers themselves perceive the presentation of social work in the media clearly negative. For example, image, working field, meaning, success, disappointment. Whereas, and that's a quite interesting point, whereas the general public in Germany values social work, as other studies indicated. Our assumption has been that the negative perception of social workers about their profession in the common media is linked to the fact that social workers stand in a close relationship to their clients. This gives rise to the following question: how do service users perceive the portrayal of their own issues in the common media? In this context, it's important to be aware of the fact that the topic people with mental illness has basically not been represented in the media during the evaluation period. We wanted to find out what is the status quo of the media representation of social work in mass media. How do social workers perceive their image in the media? And what do service users think of their media representation? To jump to the results of the users group of people with mental illness, every participant of the discussion stated that she or he would use the media frequently as a source of information and entertainment. Service users perceived a lack of seriousness in relation to the subject matter and a general trivialization of mental illness. There are suspicions that TV reports about mental illness were primarily designed for entertainment purposes, if not simply sensationalization the issue in order to increase higher cure rates. This group said, me have been a journalist for over 3 decades, I wouldn't say the same, but an example. The group felt that the disease patterns of the depression was not being portrayed in an objective fashion, and the media representation of the disease was not in accordance with medial and psychiatric facts. Media representation of the needs of people with mental illness have, according to the service users, a negative impact on the acceptance of the disease patterns in their immediate social environments. Several participants of the discussion reported about arguments with neighbors or employers whose assumptions about people with mental illness they considered apparently ill-informed. Even so, the medial representation of the needs of people with mental illness was seen as a negative factor of their situation. It could also lead to removal of social taboos, as depression and so on. The service users read accordance about the possibility that a well-researched and sincere form of education about the issue would include people with mental illness and their needs into the social discourse. The participation of people with mental illness in this educational process would lead to a general way of talking with them instead of about them. Come to discussion. At this point, as just heard, the study touches a political dimension. The service users expressed a clear notion of dissatisfaction about this way of being spoken about. They see themselves misrepresented in the social discourse about mental illness. Just as there is no realistic portrayal of their situation, the media's political potential remains to be reached. This potential consists on the one hand of education about the needs, disease patterns, and respective circumstances of service users, and on the other hand of the possibility to offer people with mental diseases a platform on which they can communicate issues which are relevant to them. The interplay between media representations, social acceptance, and individual needs should be incorporated in the conceptual phases of inclusive projects. This is a very, very hate debate at the moment in Germany. But without asking the people who are suffering from this illness. All in all, it can be established that service users recognize a discrepancy between the subjective view of their needs and the way in which mental illness is being represented in the media. I will now present results of the social workers and then compare in how far they differ from the user's group perception. The results of the social workers are: media does not represent social work in a realistic manner. The subjective perception of the media representation is rather connoted negatively, in contrast to the general public's perception, as I mentioned. Reporting is often one-sided, what means not factual and objective. Social services are often described in an unspecific way, and then there is no array of. There is lots of complications about scandals. But social workers highlighted there is different media that distinguish according to complexity, relevance, and intention. It's necessary that the profession strives for a positioning in the public. Unrealistic media representation forces social workers to justify their profession and work. The media does not represent the frame conditions of social work, for example, workload and pressure of work, loss of quality, maybe due to economizations and so on. There are different assumptions with regard to the effects of the clients. The media provides an opportunity for clients to implement demands and claims, for example, threat of the press, two experts mentioned. The majority of the social workers demand more transparency and networking, as well as a better positioning of the profession and its actors. From this, we have found at least 4 similarities. Service users as well as social workers perceive an unrealistic portrayal of the situation, lots of scandalization, seldom objective facts. The media representation is rather exclusive than inclusive. The media's political potential remains to be reached. And last one, lack of communication platforms. Thank you.